Hey Raiders Nation, we got a ton to break down today about the Las Vegas Raiders and the moves they can make to really start turning this season around. We all know it's been a roller coaster so far, sitting at 2-6, and fans are itching for something that signals real momentum. One of the first things I want to dive into is the wide receiver situation, especially after the Jacoby Myers trade. It's tough to see a player leave, but it also opens up opportunities for some of the younger guys on the roster. Dante Thornton Jr. and Jack Bess have been getting looks, and honestly, I think giving them more reps could be exactly what this team needs. These are the players the Raiders invested in during the draft, and sometimes leaning into development is more valuable than chasing a veteran name. That said, if the front office does decide to explore options on the outside, there are a couple of names that make sense from a veteran leadership and familiarity standpoint. Tyler Boyd is someone who could slide in and provide experience to a young receiving core. He's played at a high level for years and could help guide these younger guys, not just on the field, but in terms of route running and reading defenses. Another name to consider is Robert Woods, who has strong historical ties with the coaching staff. He's got the experience and versatility, and while he may currently be on a practice squad, he's shown durability and reliability over the years, starting multiple games across several seasons. These kinds of players can be the bridge between developing talent and maintaining competitiveness, and that balance is crucial if the Raiders want to start stringing together wins. Moving on to the offensive line, this is another area where the Raiders could see meaningful upgrades. The team has drafted a couple of young linemen this year, but depth is always a concern, especially with the way injuries can shift roles mid-season. Shaq Mason is a name that stands out if the Raiders want to bolster the interior. He's experienced, played nearly 1,000 snaps at right guard last season, and while his run blocking is decent, his pass protection is particularly strong. If the Raiders want to shift JPJ to center, having someone like Mason could stabilize the guard position and give the quarterback more confidence in the pocket. Other interior linemen worth keeping an eye on include Mark Glowinski and Liam Eichenberg. Glowinski brings flexibility and prior experience with some of the coaching staff, while Eichenberg has played across multiple positions on the line, offering versatility. PFF grades may not be stellar for either, but experience and adaptability can sometimes outweigh metrics in high-pressure situations. Now, let's switch gears to the defensive side, where there are plenty of opportunities for improvement. The Raiders need players who can step in and make an immediate impact, especially as they try to salvage the season and set a tone for next year. Defensive line upgrades could come in the form of veterans like Shaquille Barrett. He's been around, won a Super Bowl, and while he's older, his experience and ability to get to the quarterback could be a valuable asset. DeMarcus Walker is another player who could contribute right away. He has starting experience, has produced sacks over the last few seasons, and fits the profile of a team-oriented player who can bring leadership to the locker room. These kinds of signings can help a defense that has struggled to generate consistent pressure and force turnovers. Linebacker play is another area where the Raiders could look to adjust roles or bring in complementary pieces. The coverage ability has been a weakness, but the team could get creative with hybrid roles, deploying players in nickel packages or in specific situations designed to maximize their strengths. Josey Jewell is a name that comes to mind as someone who could provide situational pass rush and add depth to the linebacker core. Even if he's not an every-down player, using him strategically on third downs or in run support could help improve the defense's overall efficiency. Turning to the secondary, the Raiders have some glaring needs that could be addressed through free agency. Adding a reliable safety or cornerback can completely change the dynamic of a defense. Justin Simmons is obviously a high-level player with experience in the AFC West and connections to the current coaching staff, but realistically, there are other practical options that might fit better in terms of cost and availability. Asani Samuel Jr. has played outside as well as in the slot, offering versatility, and could contribute immediately if he's healthy and motivated to return to form. Damontae Kazee provides similar flexibility, able to line up at multiple spots in the secondary, depending on the scheme. Stephon Gilmore, while older, brings championship experience and could serve as a stabilizing presence opposite younger corners, helping to mentor them and set the tone in coverage assignments. Jordan Whitehead is another practical addition, offering reliability and starting experience, especially if the Raiders are looking for a cost-effective option with the versatility to move around in the secondary. John Johnson is similar in profile, able to play multiple safety roles and provide leadership in the back end. Every one of these potential signings has the ability to change the trajectory of the Raiders' season, even if only incrementally. What's key here is balancing the development of younger players like Jack Bess and Dante Thornton Jr. with the addition of veterans who can bring both performance and leadership. Injuries and inconsistencies have highlighted where this roster is thin, and making the right moves now could set the stage not just for a strong finish this year, but for sustained competitiveness in the years ahead. The coaching staff has to weigh potential signings against the development path of younger players, and finding that balance is often what separates teams that limp through a season from those that build momentum even in tough stretches. The Raiders have some difficult decisions to make, but the opportunity to add a player or two who can immediately impact games is certainly there, and those who are strategic and forward-thinking in their choices could see significant dividends. As we look ahead to matchups on the schedule, every addition matters, from shoring up pass protection for the quarterback to generating pressure on opposing signal callers. Defensive impact players, even in situational roles, can swing games and keep the team competitive, while offensive additions can help establish consistency in execution. There's a lot to consider, and the next few weeks could define how the rest of this season unfolds for the Silver and Black. The talent pool in free agency may be limited in certain areas, but identifying players with the right combination of experience, versatility, and leadership could make all the difference in keeping the Raiders in contention and setting a foundation for future growth. Ultimately, the goal is to maximize the talent already on the roster while supplementing with strategic acquisitions. Every snap, every game, and every adjustment counts as the team looks to build chemistry, improve execution, and start putting together performances that fans can rally behind. The combination of young talent, savvy veterans, and smart coaching decisions will determine whether the Raiders can turn a challenging season into a platform for long-term success. Keeping a keen eye on free agents, monitoring health, and being willing to make tough decisions will be crucial as the team navigates the remainder of this campaign. The players brought in now won't just affect this year. They could very well shape the culture, performance, and identity of this team for years to come. And that's something every fan should be paying close attention to. Continuing the conversation about the Raiders and how they could strengthen their roster, let's focus on the defensive side of the ball, where there are clear opportunities to improve and add depth. The defensive line has been an area of concern, especially with the need for consistent pressure on quarterbacks and the ability to disrupt opposing running games. Veteran players who can step in and contribute immediately are particularly valuable here. Shaquille Barrett, for example, may be older, but his experience winning a Super Bowl and his ability to make impactful plays could be a game changer. Bringing in someone like Barrett would not only provide skill on the field, but also mentorship for younger players who are still finding their footing in the league. Similarly, DeMarcus Walker offers both talent and a locker room presence that aligns with the Raiders' emphasis on character and team chemistry. He started multiple games in recent seasons, recorded sacks, and understands how to fit into different defensive schemes, which could make a real difference when adjusting to the fast pace of the NFL. Linebacker play is another crucial area where strategic adjustments can have an outsized impact. The Raiders have struggled in coverage, and reconfiguring roles or adding situational players could improve the defense's efficiency. Josey Jewell represents the type of player who might not be a full-time starter, but can be deployed effectively in pass rush scenarios or against specific offensive packages. Utilizing him in a hybrid linebacker role or on third downs could create pressure, force errors, and allow other defenders to play their natural positions more comfortably. Developing this type of situational depth ensures that even if injuries or fatigue impact the lineup, the defense can continue to operate at a high level. Turning to the secondary, the Raiders' opportunities are even more pronounced. A strong back end can completely alter how a defense functions, and adding versatile safeties or corners is essential. Jordan Whitehead stands out as a player who brings experience and reliability without a prohibitive cost. At 28, he has over 100 career starts and Super Bowl experience, making him an ideal candidate for a team needing stability in the secondary. John Johnson is another versatile option capable of playing multiple safety positions, adding flexibility to the defensive scheme. Asani Samuel Jr. is intriguing because, while smaller than typical corners, he has played outside and can adapt to multiple roles, offering more coverage options and allowing for creative defensive looks. Damontae Kazee provides similar versatility, able to line up at different spots and complement existing players while reinforcing coverage schemes. Even aging veterans can contribute meaningfully if used intelligently. Stephon Gilmore, for example, may no longer be at his peak speed, but his experience and knowledge of coverage techniques could allow him to play a modified role, potentially as a free safety, mentoring younger corners and strengthening communication across the secondary. Strategic placement of these players can compensate for individual weaknesses and enhance overall team cohesion. The Raiders' defensive philosophy benefits from players who understand scheme versatility and are willing to execute in multiple roles, which is why focusing on adaptable veterans is as important as targeting young talent. As we consider the upcoming schedule, the value of these defensive reinforcements becomes even clearer. Every quarterback the Raiders face represents a different challenge, whether it's mobile athletes who extend plays, pocket passers who exploit weak coverage, or high-powered offensive lines that control the trenches. Strengthening the defensive line, linebacking core, and secondary gives the coaching staff flexibility to adjust to these situations. It also reduces the stress on any single unit, creating opportunities for rotation and minimizing fatigue. In addition, developing a deeper pool of capable defensive players sets the team up for the offseason, allowing younger players to gain experience alongside veterans and gradually build a more cohesive unit. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling across the league, and it seems the Raiders may have just pulled off one of the most intriguing moves of the offseason. Sources close to the team suggest that Marvin Harrison Jr., the young wide receiver whose name has been lighting up draft boards and highlight reels alike, could be stepping into the Las Vegas spotlight sooner than anyone expected. While nothing has been officially confirmed, insiders hint that Harrison Jr. has agreed in principle to join the Raiders, a pairing that could instantly reshape the franchise's aerial attack. For years, Harrison Jr. has been a name associated with promise and potential, the son of a legendary receiver whose career still echoes in NFL lore. But the chatter now is that the young Harrison is ready to carve his own path, moving from the collegiate stage to a team desperate for a dynamic weapon on the outside. The Raiders, known for taking bold swings, might just have found a gem in Harrison Jr., a player whose blend of size, speed, and precise route running could give their offense the spark it has long been missing. If the rumors hold water, expect Las Vegas fans to be buzzing. Analysts are already speculating about the chemistry Harrison Jr. could form with the Raiders' quarterback room, potentially creating one of the league's most explosive duos. Some insiders even suggest that the team has been quietly building around the assumption that Harrison Jr. would arrive, tweaking playbooks and practice schemes to get the most out of his talents from day one. Of course, in the world of sports, nothing is guaranteed until ink meets paper. Still, the mere possibility of Harrison Jr. in silver and black has fans and commentators alike whispering about a new era in the desert. Could this be the start of a meteoric rise for a young receiver eager to prove that his name carries more than legacy, that it carries future superstardom? If the whispers are true, the Raiders might just have the answer to their offensive prayers, and the NFL world will be watching closely as the rumor unfolds into reality. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.